starting tonight. I'm a man of my word.
So, who is Joker?
If we're gonna play games.
Which is the lie he is opposing?
I'm gonna need a cup of coffee.
The good cop, bad cop routine?
Not exactly.
The truly disturbing thing about The Dark Knight is that it elevates lie into a general social principle, into the principle of organization of our social political life, as if our societies can remain stable, can function only if based on a lie, as if telling the truth, and this telling the truth is embodied in Joker, means destruction, disintegration of the social order.
Never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy. He can't feel the next.
Towards the end, it is as if lie functions as a hot potato passing from one person's hand to another person's hand. First, there is Harvey Dent,
Soviet, take the Batman into custody.
the public prosecutor, who lies,
I am the Batman.
claiming that he is the real person behind Batman's mask, that he is Batman. Then we have Gordon, honest policeman, Batman's friend, who fakes, stages his own death.
I'll see you later.
5 dead. 2 of them cops. You can't sweep that off.
At the end, Batman himself takes upon himself
But the Joker cannot win.
the crimes, murders committed by Harvey Dent, the public prosecutor turned criminal,
Gotham needs its true hero.
in order to maintain the trust of the public into the legal system. The idea is if the ordinary public were to learn how corrupted was or is the very core of our legal system, then everything would have collapsed. So we need a lie to maintain order.
A hero. Not the hero we deserved, but the hero we needed. Nothing less than a knight. Shining.
There is nothing new in this. This is an old conservative wisdom, asserted long ago by philosophers from Plato, but especially, and then Immanuel Kant, Edmund Burke, and so on and so on. This idea that the truth is too strong, that a politician should be a cynicist who, although he knows what is true, tells to ordinary people what Plato called a noble fable, a lie.
The United States knows that Iraq has weapons of mass destruction. The UK knows that they have weapons of mass destruction. Any country on the face of the earth with an active intelligence program knows that Iraq has weapons of mass destruction.
Which could be activated within 45 minutes, including against his own Shia population.
The choice is his. And if he does not disarm, the United States of America will lead a coalition and disarm him in the name of peace.
Let's be frank. We can have a state, public system of power, as legitimate as you want, submitted to critical press, democratic elections, and so on and so on. Apparently, it just serves us. But nonetheless, if you look closely into how even the most democratic state power functions, in order for it to display through authority, and power needs authority, there has to be, as it were, between the lines, all the time this message of, yeah, we are legalized through elections, but basically we can do with you whatever we want.
Because that's what needs to happen. Because sometimes truth isn't good enough. Sometimes people deserve more. Sometimes people deserve to have their faith rewarded.
One of the great platitudes which are popular today when we are confronted with acts of violence is to refer to Fyodor Dostoevsky's famous statement from Brothers Karamazov, if there is no God, then everything is permitted. Well, the first problem with this statement is that Dostoevsky, of course, never made it. The first one who used this phrase as allegedly made by Dostoevsky was Jean-Paul Sartre in 1943. But the main point is that this statement is simply wrong. Even a brief look at our predicament today clearly tells us this. It is precisely if there is God that everything is permitted to those who not only believe in God, but who perceive themselves as instruments, direct instruments of the divine will. If you posit or perceive or legitimize yourself as a direct instrument of the divine will, then, of course, all narrow, petty, moral considerations disappear. How can you even think in such narrow terms when you are a direct instrument of God? This is how so-called religious fundamentalists work, but not only them. Every form of so-called totalitarianism works like that, even if it is presented or if it presents itself as atheist. Let's take Stalinism. Officially, Stalinism was based on atheist Marxist theory. But if we look closely at the subjective experience of a Stalinist political agent,